Hey everybody, thanks for clicking that thumbnail. I hope you enjoy the video, and in this video I'm going to be doing a lineup prediction for the Montreal Canadiens with their current roster. So we're not trading anybody off, we're not bringing anybody in. We're going to take a look at what I think is going to be the lineup on day one with this roster that they have right now. I have done videos like this already. I think I did one already for lineup prediction. I think this is a different look at it, a rethink, obviously, and then I might do this again just before the season starts because we'll know a little bit more. But I'm going to take a look at it and see what we got here right now. So, in saying that, we'll start right away, and actually, before we get to that, I'd just like to say that if you are new to the channel or you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. So if you're a Habs fan and you're looking for Habs content, well, you're here at the right channel, so hit the subscribe button and you'll get more of that. And also leave me any comments you may have about my predictions that I'm going to make right here, right now. So first up, line one. I think this year, there's all this talk about Nick Suzuki and KK. A lot of people want to see them as 1 and 2 centers. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think that they've proven that they can do that on a regular basis, and that Phil Deneau should move down. So I still think line one is going to be Phil Deneau centering, Gallagher on the right, and Tatar on the left. I don't think that changes, and I think you could probably, the first two lines, it could be 1A, 1B, line one, line two, line one, the defensive, mainly defensive line, although they do contribute a lot to the offense, and then you got the next line here. I guess I'll get the first two up. So you got Nick Suzuki. I think that's obvious. Yeah, I should write it right. I think he's going to have the newly acquired Josh Anderson on his right, and I think he's going to have Drouin on his left. Why Drouin? Because some people think shift to Foley over there and have Drouin drop down the third line and all that. I'm not going to go there. The reason why I think Drouin and Suzuki showed some chemistry in the return to play. There were some really nice plays between them, set up some really good chances. I think even 1 goal or 2 goals, like really nice stuff. Showed some chemistry. Sorry for whistling. And I also think on this line, having Anderson with his size, with his net presence, with everything that he brings, that size intimidation, that strength he's got, all that good stuff that we got him for, I think this line can really click. I think they're going to be maybe your offensive catalyst for most of the season, if not all season. And yeah, so I think it's 1A, 1B. On the first line, Tatar obviously was leading the team last season in points and goals, tied in goals with Gallagher. And so you know that these two lines, that's your main offensive lines. And I think to start the season, you're starting with Deneau on line one. I don't think that changes yet. And maybe down the road, once Suzuki proves that, and I think he will, whether it's this season or by next season, that he's the number one guy and he should be in that position. I don't know. But I still think no matter what, if Suzuki is the number one line, Deneau is still taking on the opposition's number one line, shutting them down, and they're providing offense. So this is a great combination of 1-2, gives you so many options. I think that's how it shakes out to start the season. Third line, this is where I've got a bit of a change. So you've got KK. I think I need a new pen. This one not working very well. You got KK centering that, so that's Jesperi Kotkaniemi, if you don't know who KK is. And I think KK has Tyler Toffoli on his right side. Toffoli, the reason I don't want Toffoli shifted over here is I think KK needs better wingers. You could say Drouin on his left is a better winger than Lehkonen for offense, but we've seen them together and it hasn't totally clicked, and I'd rather see if Toffoli can click with him, and then you've got 3 scoring lines, and you put Byron over here as well. So Byron normally, and I think everyone's thinking there's going to be fourth line. But I think if you put him here on the third line on the wing with KK now has two wingers that can pull the trigger and score. Byron's got his speed. He can get to the front of the net. Toffoli, super experienced, great forward, great shot, can play either side. Both of these guys can play either side. So if they switch while they're on the play, I mean, it doesn't matter. It gives KK two wingers that can score, and we can see what KK can produce. So I like to see Byron, KK, Toffoli, three lines. Now you got three scoring lines because really they're scoring lines with Toffoli there. That's a scoring line as well. So you got three scoring lines where a team that you might not have that star scoring guy that's going to put up 50 goals, but now you got three lines where you can produce offense at any time. If one of the lines is not producing, is in a bit of a slump, one of the other two or both of them are going to pick it up. So I really like that combination here for the lines. Now that leaves the fourth line. The fourth line, I think their commitment to signing Evans to a one-way deal. I think that means he's going to be the fourth line center. I don't see them bringing in anybody else. I don't think they have the money. They are just under the cap and they need to make more room. I don't see them bringing in somebody paying more than Evans. And besides, Mark Bergevin said, you're going to see the kids play in positions where we can get them in because it saves money. And here's the case right here. I think he has Armia on the right. Armia played really well, I thought, in the RTP when he was playing on the fourth line on the right wing. It gives a scoring touch to the right side. Armia, quick transition into offense. He breaks up passes and plays all the time, especially in the offensive zone. And I think, again, you get some scoring on that fourth line. His size is going to be effective, although he's not the most physical guy, but still he's going to be effective there. He's big and strong. Evans, a young kid, also got size. I think he's 6'1 or 6'2", so he's not a small kid. And I really like what I've seen from Evans. And I think, obviously, you're going to put Lehkonen over here. So Lehkonen, who might be more suited for a role on the fourth line because he hasn't shown that scoring touch that he had in his first season, where I think he got 18 goals in his rookie season, and he hasn't really gotten close to that yet. I think 13 goals was his closest. And if he shows a scoring touch, well, now you got four lines that can score. This is a good defensive line. Armia, penalty killer. Lehkonen, a great penalty killer. Great on the defensive side. A kind of guy you need on a team if you want to win. If you want to be a winner and win that cup, you need guys like Lehkonen. That's for sure. So I think this is your lineup for the forwards. I like the options it gives you. I don't know if they're going to move anybody off of this because they need to make some room. I think I have an idea, if I remember to talk about it, on how to make room without actually changing these forwards. So we'll get to that. I think you're going to have Wheel as an extra. Whoops, not a very good W. And probably Poehling. I think Poehling gets a shot. I don't know that he gets... with the guys that are ahead of him, if he gets one of those positions on the fourth line or third line, I don't think so. But if they make some moves, Poehling's going to be there to fill in one of those roles because somebody's going to have to move. That's without a doubt. You can't go into the season $383,000 below the cap. I think that's what their number is. That's not enough. You have to make some room. So we're going to see yet who it is, but this is for the current roster, so you got to remember that. So I think that's your forward line with your two extra skaters in case of injury and fill-in or whatever. Let's look at the defense. I think the defense is pretty straightforward, except in one spot. I think you lead off, obviously, top pairing last year, and I think it continues, is Ben Sherratt, Shea Weber. Two big guys, play a bruising game. Going to be very hard to get in close without paying the price. So teams want to get in close to score. They're going to pay a price for that. And this is something that's been missing. In close in front of Carey Price just hasn't been there. Starting to get better, and I think they're going to improve this season because not only Sherratt and Weber, but you got Edmondson. And a lot of people saying Edmondson should be a third pairing guy. He has not played third pairing since his rookie season. He is legitimately a top four guy. And you got Petrie, obviously, over here. Again, two big guys. Petrie with the offense. been steady for the last 3-4 years in the numbers he gives you, points per game. He can also be physical, quarterback on the power play. And then Edmondson, mobile, more mobile than people think, can produce a little bit more offense, I think, than people think. And a big guy that, 6'4", 6'5", and he push you out of the way. I mean, they're gonna keep the net clear. This is a good top 4. You add into that, and I think this is not a certainty, but I think it's close. And that's Alex Romanov. I think he's going to make the team. I think they're going to start him on the third pairing. Here's a guy, he's, I think, 5'11", 180-ish pounds, but he plays like he's one of these big guys as far as the physicality. He's a bruising hitter, a brutal hitter, and got skill to go with that as well. So I think he's going to contribute to the offense. I think he's going to contribute to the physicality of the squad, and I don't think he's going to hurt you in any way. Even though his first season here, he's a young guy. I just think this is a talented kid, and going to challenge to move up in the rotation. I just don't know how quickly he's going to be able to do that, but I expect good things from Romanov. So now here we get to the last spot, and that's where your question marks are, because what you've got left here is Mete, and you got Kulak. And both of these guys, although maybe played more left side in their careers, but both have played on the right side. I didn't really know Kulak did, but both can play on the right side, and you could probably mix and match depending on the game and bring them in. And I think you have to add Fleury into this mix. He's a young kid. He's almost ready. He may be ready. I like his physicality to his game. This is a guy, big hits, finishes his checks, big hits. He can take out the biggest of them. He's not a small guy, very physical, needs to get a little bit more on the offensive side, but I mean, he could break in here depending on what they do with Kulak and Mete, whether one of those guys could get moved. With Victor Mete, yeah, he's the small guy here. He brings you a different option. He's really fast. He's good on breaking out. I think breaking out of the zone, breaking into the other zone. He's good there. He's, like I said, he's got the speed. He's got those legs. He hasn't really shown the offensive side yet, but he gives you a different look than all these other guys on this in this group here. So I don't know how that exactly works out. To me, that's the one spot here that's kind of open to interpretation, you might say. But I think these guys are pretty much going to be set. And I don't think if they're moving anybody, I don't think it's coming from the defensive side as far as these 5 guys. That leaves goaltending. I mean, I don't think that's an issue. Carey Price and Jake Allen. I think the only issue here is how much does Jake Allen play? So I think it depends. Right now it's looking like there might be a delay in the start of January 1st. We're going to find out real soon. If that's the case and they go closer to February, you're probably looking at a 48-game schedule. In a 48-game schedule, so I'm going to say, I'll just do it like this, 48 games. I think Price plays, I got it written down here, 22 to 24 games. And I think that Allen plays 14 to 16 games. Not exactly splitting all the games in half, and they may just do that, but I don't know if that'll be the case, but very close to doing that. Now, I think on this side here where you might have 60-game schedule, because I think you can kiss the 82-game schedule out the window already. Don't even think about that. There's no 82-game schedule. It's going to be 60 or 48. I mean, I don't know if that's a hot take, but there you go. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm still running there. So I think in a 60-game schedule, we're looking at 30 to 35 from Price, and that would mean 25 to 30 from Allen. And it might be in a 60-game schedule, it's a little longer. In a compressed time, it might be more compressed games. You might see Allen play a little bit more. And I've heard the goalie coach, Stefan Waite, in an interview already say they are looking at possibly having Allen play, literally splitting the games with Price. So it's a possibility. I don't think so much so in a 48-game schedule, because there's not as many games. Price can play more games. I think, though, in a 60-game schedule, you're likely to possibly see that they'll actually split games. Doesn't mean there'd be one Price, one Allen, but they're going to split games. And there you go. I think that's my look at what the lineup should look like on day one for Montreal Canadiens. That is for the current roster as it stands right now. There will be a move somewhere. There will be, Mark. I mean, that's guaranteed. It's just, I don't know what it's going to be. Nobody does right now. So when that happens, I'll take another look at it. But okay, here's almost forgot the way to get under the cap to where they want. Bergevin has said he wants to go to $1.5 million cushion under the cap, and they're sitting at $383,000 right now. So they got to do something. I put out a video just a few videos back about 4 scenarios to trade for the one guy each scenario. Of the bigger guys, the names on there, Armia, what did I have? Armia, Deneau, I had Byron, and Tatar. There's another way to do this, I think. They need to make about a little over $1 million space right now. So there's 1.4 million sitting right here in Wheel. If you put them in the minors, you save $1.075. $1.075. So you save $1,075,000. But you need to bring somebody back in, say league minimum, like an Alex Belzile, maybe something like that. So you're then saving about $375,000. Now you're looking at about $750,000. So you're doing good. Now, you could trade a guy like Kulak, and this could happen. Kulak's making $1.85 million. If they decide Fleury is making it, they're going to keep Mete. They trade out Kulak. At $1.85 million, somebody will take him. I don't think that's a hard contract to take. And so that will save you 1.85. You got 750. That's 2.5 something. But you still need somebody. I think you still need somebody. So you might have to bring in somebody at another league minimum contract. And there you have your like 1.7 million. And that's enough to go into the season. So you might see Wheel go down. They bring in Belzile or somebody like that and trade out Kulak, and that adding Fleury would be that money. There you go. That's where I was confused for a second. You don't have to bring in another guy, but you have to bring Fleury up, and then he's making some like $750,000. So if you take that off, you're at like 1.7, 1.8 million, and that's another way to get under the cap enough for them to go into the season comfortably and not have to make any big changes here. And that way Paul Byron stays, and this is a pretty decent lineup. So there's another idea of how to do it. There's my prediction for the Habs lineup starting next season, game 1, with the current lineup as it is. And let me know what you think in the comment section down there. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, like, what are you waiting on? I don't. Please subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Hopefully you like this video. I'm trying to come up with ideas. I don't know how long this off season is going to go to. Yeah, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. I'm going to see you next video. Bye, everybody.